Hi guys, this is Emily Kupali, and for today's card I'll be using the Soul Jelly and Snow Day stamp sets from Fawn. I already stamped my images using my archival ink in jet black and fussy cut them. To color the jellyfish, I started wearing the area I want to color and added some spun sugar distress ink. Then I randomly added some milk lavender. At this point, I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do with it. So later I'll be changing the coloring on it since I wasn't really happy with the way it turned out at first. Both colors were way too light and you couldn't really appreciate them. So if you are going to recreate this card, you can simply skip this step. I left it in the video so you could see where those colors came from when I started adding the final colors. Then I decided to change the milled lavender for the shaded lilac distress ink, which is much darker, and added it around the bell of the jellyfish instead of all over it, and to the top of the tentacles nearest to the bell. I basically used this color in the places I would add my shadows. Then I used the spun sugar as my lightest color and added it to the center of the jellyfish and to the extreme of the tentacles. This is a great way to add some dimension and shadows but still keeping the image pretty colorful. I kept adding the colors and blending them until I was happy with the results. Remember that you can get creative with this cute image and color it in any color you prefer. Now for the sea star, I started using scattered straw as my lightest color and dried marigold as my darkest color. But again, they both are too light and wasn't getting the color I wanted since I wanted it to be more orangey than yellow. With my orange distress inks, I have found that the more I dilute them with water, the more yellow they look, instead of looking like a light orange. So for the look I was going for, I probably could have used the dried marigold and the spiced marmalade since the beginning, and not even adding any yellow distress ink at all. I'm adding the spiced marmalade, which is the darkest color, to the arms of the sea star, and leaving the center of it lighter. Again, feel free to color your image in any color you prefer. I personally think it would look beautiful in some darker and brighter purple and blue, or even in red to add a more traditional color to the card. Also, you can add more dots and details with your white gel pen. At the end, I thought about adding some glossy accents to both the jellyfish and the starfish, but ended up skipping it. Anyway, you can totally add it to them if you want. I kept adding and blending the colors until I was happy with the result. Then I cut a 4 1/4 square out of some white cardstock and added some pencil lines on it using the width of my ruler as a guide. Now we'll place my circular die, keeping in mind that the area between both lines is the area that will work as my fish bowl. I will align the lines with the edges of my plates, each line with one plate, and will secure it in place with some masking tape. This way, I will cut only the center of the circle, where the two plates are. Then, we'll use my X-Acto knife and a ruler to cut the top and the bottom of the fish bowl. I am cutting above and below the lines, not right over them, since the circle cut a bit beyond the lines. Also, I recommend to use a metal ruler with your X-Acto knife to avoid cutting the ruler accidentally. I couldn't find mine, so I simply used this one, which worked just fine. I'm also using the plate from my Big Shot machine to cut over it. As you can see, I made the top of the bowl wider than the bottom. You can also use a die with this shape if you have one. I die cut the circle again, this time from a piece of scrap cardstock in craft, and will place it on the bottom of the bowl I created to mark with a pencil where to cut. With my paper trimmer, we'll cut not over but right above the pencil line. Then I die cut it using the Linescape Trio die from Mama Elephants. Now we'll add some dot details using my distress markers in tea dye and gathered twigs, as well as my Sakura white gel pen. I'm trying to add more dots along the top edge and less towards the bottom. This will make it look like sand or gravel. You can also use any other color for the cardstock and for the markers and gel pen, even a glitter or metallic gel pen. Then I will glue a piece of light blue cardstock to the back of the fish bowl. I used one from American Craft cardstock stack in pastels, but you can color a piece of white cardstock using your distress inks in tumbled glass or even in peacock feathers. Then we'll inlay the piece of craft cardstock to the bottom of the bowl. I stamped the tree using my mermaid ink pad from Fawn and colored the trunk of it with my gathered twigs distress marker. I think it looks like those ornaments we can buy for our fish bowls or fish tanks. Then finished gluing everything together using my liquid glue. I used this die from waffle flowers to die cut a bow out of some white cardstock and glued it to the top of my tree. Now we'll add some stickles in gold to it as well as to the dots in the tree. This will add some beautiful shine and more interest to this simple card. You could easily transform this card into a shaker card or simply add a piece of acetate to it, keeping it flat as a nice finishing detail. To add more interest to the white areas and do not keep it so plain, I stamped some stars from the Snow Day stamp set using my Encore ink pad in gold. I want to quickly say thank you to Jocelyn since I won the So Jelly stamp set from her giveaway on Instagram. Now I'm coloring the little circles on the jellyfish using my white gel pen. Here you can see all the shine from the stickles and the gold ink. Once I finished my card, I got another idea, so I thought I would share it with you in case you like it. Jocelyn also sent me some flat beads in different colors, which actually look like those glass beads we can use in our fish bowls. So you can skip the sand step and simply glue some of these instead, and I think it would look really pretty and would totally help with the look of the fish bowl. Of course, you also can add them more randomly and use them as bubbles or water drops, and it would look very pretty too. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. Don't forget to visit my blog to see the full list of supplies and more close-up pictures. Here are 3 more Christmas cards for you to watch. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!